only the second time in the 10-year history of the Art Shanty Projects, artists have made White Bear Lake home to their month-long display. But Mother Nature added a twist to the event and blew in some warmer temps, which resulted in the project coming ashore for the final weekend of what became known as the Art Shanty Project. But art must go on, you know, and it did, to the delight of thousands of visitors last month. Photojournalist Jeffrey Wilson came out for a visit during the opening weekend to bring us this local image look at the Art Shanty Projects 2016.
Well, this is the Ouija Totter. You know, as you know, you're at the Art Shanties Project, but we wanted to create something that was fun for everyone. Really sort of a big element of play, and the play is also in the physical element, but also in the idea of you ask a question of the Ouija Totter and it answers it, yes or no. Well, this is the second time we've done the Art Shanty Project. My friend Paul and Derek also worked on this with me. And we really, again, there's a lot of sort of beautiful artistic things happening here. We wanted just raw play to happen. And a teeter-totter, you can't miss the play element there. It's a simple structure, easy enough to build, but then we made it hard on ourselves by putting this whole Ouija part into it. None of us are engineers, let's be clear, but it's all bike parts actually on the backside. So it's cranks and chains and all of that kind of stuff. So it's basic, but does some really fun stuff. So this first one, as you see, as these guys start to teeter, runs the tongue and runs the yes and no. That's really the sort of Ouija part of this thing. The next one, the middle one, is actually running these outer tires here, just for some kinetic kind of sculptural fun. And then the last one actually runs the eyes on the cat. And the little fun birds on top. Man, it's just, this is for me, the best kind of art. You make something, you're not in a museum where you don't get to see people react to your work. Here, I see smiles on people's faces, I keep giggling. You know, old people who've never, or been on a teeter-totter, it's probably been 30 years, they jump on and then they're 5 again. You know, so it's really just that play and the fun that you have when you're out here.
Hi, welcome. Come on in.
We've got native teas from Minnesota to try.
This specific shanty is the botanical shanty. Yes, that is a pun. It's TEA. So come in and enjoy. Have a little laugh. It's fully heated. So this is our wood-burning stove. We're serving up 4 different teas to represent the seasons. We have sumac for winter, nettles for spring, echinacea for summer, and goldenrod for fall. So you can learn a little bit about these plants, pick one of these wonderful teacups, and then choose one to sit down and try. So having something really fun to do in the winter. We weren't at home watching TV. Every night we were either thinking about the shanty or working late hours building it every day.
It's right now. It's right now. It's today. It's the fun questions that people are coming up with. It's seeing families out here, you know, having a good time. That's why we do it. You know, I mean, yes, did I love the 2.5 months sitting in my buddy's garage trying to put stuff together? That was obviously part of the draw too.
While art was being put on ice last month here on White Bear Lake, a local Delwood woman was busy using art in her fledgling business called Glorious Hugs. After a long career in the corporate world, Mary McCarthy wanted to create a business that brought her love of art and desire to make a difference together. We deliver her story in this local image package.
This afternoon we're going up to a senior facility called Keystone Place at Laval Fields in Hugo, Minnesota. We're going to give away 3 care packages, plus I'm giving one to the administrative team to give to somebody that needs a little pick-me-up. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You ready for this?
Absolutely. Are you?
Yes.
This is our beautiful pub.
Beautiful it is.
Yeah.
It's
And here we
amazing.
have Jack, Ed, Jean, Mayetta, and Vi.
Hi, thanks for joining us today. I'm Mary McCarthy with Glorious Hugs, and yes, I do give out hugs if any of you want one. Okay, all right. We got one right off the top. All right, and I put together care packages for anybody, but I'm starting with the senior market, just like you guys. And it's got all kinds of fun stuff in it. So we drew names. I guess you 3 are the lucky winners. You guys will get them today, and we'll see what you think. There's such a huge need in the senior community for more engagement. And as I've talked to various facilities and people and focus groups and talked to social workers, they're just like, you know, we're starving for more things to do. And families, on the other hand, say, what do we get Grandma? What can we get her that's not just another thing that she already has? So this is just a whole box of things that they can do. It's engaging, it's uplifting. Here's how you open it. You just pop this little down here and open it up like that. And then you can see what's in it. I wanted the box to really stand out and to be as impactful as a bouquet of flowers as much as I could in a corrugated box. So I hired a local graphic designer, Erica Ray, and she did all the beautiful branding and the graphics. This is the front of the box, and it's somebody reaching out with a rose lanyard, and then the back of the box is somebody reaching out and hugging the end. So it's 2 people connected, which is what the company's all about, is connecting people. The company is named after my grandmother, Gloria. So I named it Glorious Hugs. We'd go visit her, my daughters and I. Sometimes we run out of things to talk about. You know, the weather, how are you feeling, watch TV. And I have a thing for art and a thing for poetry. So I thought, why not buy little pieces of handmade art and put it in a care package to help people just socialize and talk to each other, and then include discussion questions about the art and the poetry to give people, you know, a little starter on something to discuss. Great art inspires conversation, and people can talk about the dog, you know, to lots of people all the time. What do you like the most inside of it?
This little guy is kind of cute. He's cute.
Yeah.
I like him. I like his nose.
Yeah. The woman that paints these is the queen of the Renaissance Festival.
Really?
Yes,
What?
the Renaissance Festival. Linda Clayton is her name.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah, yeah, she's pretty dynamic. My website for Glorious Hugs has videos of me interviewing the artists.
Really?
Yep, so you can actually see me interview Linda and interview Trish, who did your glass piece.
What did you get?
She got a piece of glass.
Glass
art.
Oh, glass. I've done
A flower, right? A sun catcher?
yeah. I got that. Oh, yeah. It hangs from the window.
Each package also comes with poetry, and the poet is Phyllis Bellotta of White Bear Lake. She's this great poet, and she writes this uplifting poetry. Like this one is about summer. So the poetry she writes then relates to the art that goes in the box. This one's called Summer. Squashy, squishy, squinchy, squiggle, spiders, gnats, and skeeters wiggle, creep and crawl and fly and jump,
cause itching, stinging, swelling lumps. Cobwebs filling up all corners, catch the houseflies with no mourners. Swallows are swooping up the bugs, ants are edging around the rugs. Crickets chirping in the basement, and earthworms wiggling on wet pavement. Mean humming buzzing by the screens, and bugs crawling through the doorway seams.
It's meant to be shared. Everything around it is for sharing and causing conversation. The poetry, you can talk about it for hours with various people over and over again. And then the discussion questions are things like, tell me about a memory that you had of summertime that still makes you smile today.
I love to go barefoot. I know I never wore shoes when I was a kid.
Yeah. There's some cookies, like these Valentine cookies, and all of it's locally sourced from the Twin Cities area. These are from Grandma's Bakery in White Bear Lake. Each care package also has a little card that comes with it. This one, Erica Ray, that also did the outside of the package and the branding for me. When people order online, they can select which card that they want, and then I handwrite each card with whatever the sentiment is. And reading all these cards of love between people has really been fulfilling and has changed my outlook on society. There is a lot of love out there. We just don't see it every day. Thank you for participating. It's been great getting to know you a teeny bit. Thanks for listening and participating.
I have a suggestion, right?
Please give me suggestions.
You're gonna put a card in there so that they can send suggestions back.
To me?
Great.
Oh, that's a good idea. A feedback card.
It's a feedback. You have to think about it.
The card in here.
The person who's receiving the box might like to say thank you.
Yeah. Thanking you and Teresa for the hugs and cookies. The glass was beautiful. We hope you will be successful in your project. Minnesota is a wonderful state where I was born. My husband is a California native. We will be married 65 years in October. Best wishes, Don and Pat Payne. Somebody I know sent a care package to her aunt and uncle, and then instead of sending this to like a family member, they sent it to me. It was very sweet, so I keep this. Okay, I gotta get the other one.
Mary's vision for Glorious Hugs includes options for gift boxes for college students and veterans struggling with PTSD. She also intends to outsource the packaging element to organizations that provide work for the developmentally disabled. Now, they say if you choose a job you love, then you'll never have to work a day in your life. And that looks to be true in the case for Mary. But how about for those just beginning to think about their future careers? Well, high school students attending classes at Northeast Metro 916 Career and Technical Center say they welcome the opportunity to test out potential career options that could lead them to their dream jobs.
916 Tech used to be a technical school intended for high school and college age students, and now we are our own entity in that we're the 916 Career and Technical Center. We target to high school students for college and career prep programs.
A lot of parents don't know about us, and I think if they did, they would encourage their son or daughter to visit us. Visitor Day is a great time to sit in on a program and see if it's something that they're interested in. And from there, they can apply for the program and hopefully become a student and be successful. Too many kids are spending too much money at college and not even able to find a job after the four-year degree, so it's a great place for them to start.
And college credit's huge, but also looking for that career exploration, finding something that they're good at, that they want to try.
Some of us are here for career exploration, others are trying to get into the program here at Century. And it's just a great opportunity to get a head start by saving money or seeing if you want to see in the future career if that's something you would like to do.
The class gets you really involved and you meet a lot of cool people and you get a lot of opportunities. There's lots of like dealerships and other colleges that come in and talk to you, and it really gives you an understanding of what opportunities you have in the field.
We have 16 different programs, serving approximately 850 students this year.
It's all free, and that's the best part of it.
When I was in high school, when you graduated, it seemed like you had to go to a four-year college. That's not the way it is today, because a lot of jobs out there are looking for tech experience, 2-year technical college experience, 2-year community college with certifications.
There are a variety of activities happening on a day-to-day basis, most of them hands-on activities. So you can be in animal science, learning how to take care of pets, farm animals, reptiles. You could be executing an oil change or a suspension service in auto tech. You might be up in dental occupations, learning about the makes and different types of tooth anatomy. The kind of terminology you'll hear our students talk about here even only through their mid-year is absolutely mind-blowing.
I'm getting a lot of education already. We've done things as importing models to dental terminology and things like that. So I've learned a lot already, and that's a nice prep of going into college classes for dental.
I'm pretty sure everyone would appreciate what we learned, because there's so many things I've learned in this amount of time.
Through this class and getting some knowledge, I ended up applying at White Bear Mitsubishi, and I've been there for about 1.5 years now, and moved up in the ranks.
We are most excited about the success stories of the students that come back to us that talk about how they've used the college credits that they've earned here to advance them post-secondary.
Some students could walk out of here with a whole semester of college credit, after they're completed with their junior and senior year.
In the fall, if we do want to apply, they hold 10 spots for us in the college program here at Century.
They're getting used to the college setting because we're actually teaching college courses. We have relationships with other colleges besides just Century College, where we're located here. So the students have a choice when they're done to either come back to us, depending upon how many years they have left in high school. They can take another program, or they can actually come back and actually take college courses, like with Century College, through what's called concurrent enrollment.
It just gives you the experience that some of our students might not get. It gives you a head start on your career, because it can definitely tell you whether or not this is something that you'd be interested in or not.
And even for those students that said while I was there, I learned I definitely didn't want to do this or that, because that saved them money going through college to learn only after they've graduated with a bachelor's degree that wasn't their area of interest.
It's worth trying. It gets you involved, and you can really see if you enjoy the career or not.
I would check it out just to see for career exploration. Many kids do that, and I think it's just a great head start. I mean, if you don't like it, you won't like it, so that's the best part of 916.
For more information, students and parents and community members can Google 916 Career Tech or contact their home high school counseling office.
Did you know March is Women's History Month? Well, it is, and thankfully we didn't have to look very far to find a woman who was willing to share some of her own unique history with us. Rose Bayuk's life has taken her from the woods of northern Minnesota, where she was born literally, to her home of 60 years in White Bear Lake, where she still lives thanks in part to the helpful aid of her son Mark, who in his own words is there to assist Mom but not get in her way. You see, Rose is a very busy gal. Lots of card clubs to attend, guests to entertain, and parties to plan. She's a self-described organizer and socializer, something she attributes to her years as a nurse that happened to work on ships caring for injured men during World War II. Rose Bayuk is a war veteran, and much more, as you'll see in this local image feature story.
I get out of bed, I make breakfast for him and myself. I probably have an agenda in the house, maybe, laundry or something, or may have to go to the store, maybe have to do this. Maybe have to get ready for our group to come over for lunch. We do entertain a lot here, don't we, Mark?
You entertain a lot, and I wash the dishes.
Yeah, he does.
Make sure you wash.
After living overseas for 30 years, Rose's son Mark returned to Minnesota several years ago to spend time with Mom.
If furniture needs to be moved upstairs for a dinner, I bring up the chairs. If there are plates on a high shelf, hopefully she allows me to bring them down, but sometimes she does that. And I hope she doesn't do it in the future.
I'm independent.
No kidding.
And I bet that sometimes makes Mark a little frustrated.
Yes.
That's why he goes out to the library or something.
Like Mom, Mark served in the military. But even with his career in military intelligence, Mark knows Rose is the commander-in-chief on the home front. Her take-charge demeanor was developed early on while growing up in Buell, Minnesota.
This is my mother and her children are what I remember. My older sister here, and my brothers, and my sister Pat. We were home on a leave. We're in uniform, part of a uniform. I came from a family of 7 children. They're all dead. I'm the only one living. My sister Pat and I were at the end, and she's 98 in April, and I am 100 right now. My father came both from Italy. I was born up north on a homestead. My father was given to Homestead by President Wilson. And they lived there almost 5 years. You had to live 5 years. And I was 3 months old, and they moved to Buell. And my father was one of the pioneers helping setting up the community. This is my father that died when he was 54, and I was a junior in high school. He dropped dead. He had a little garden and went to his garden and never came back home. They had to go find him.
Rose's mom did her best to raise the children after Dad died. Rose's older brothers kept close tabs on her and her sister Pat, making sure they pursued a post-high school education.
Graduated from high school at 17, you know. And I was lucky when I got to Rochester. We had big sisters, you know, and she met me at my bus station, and I got to the dorm where I was supposed to go from then on.
This is your graduation from?
Oh, my Cater School of Nursing. I graduated with a honors scholarship program.
And then the Mayo brothers themselves signed this, and they were dead within 9 months. So that's probably one of the last diplomas they signed.
Mayo Clinic at that time was a little thing. I was in Rochester not too long ago. It's huge, big, tall buildings and everything. It's not like it was. When I graduated from nursing, there are all these young nurses that want some adventure. 3 of us had a friend in California, so we went out to California. And we had jobs. In those days, she said, you could work here and you there and all that. We didn't apply for anything. They were hard up for nurses. Shortly after that, the Japanese bombed the Hawaiian Islands, and that was really something. My brother called me home. They were worried, I suppose, that we were going to be bombed, something like that. My sister Pat's a nurse, too. She was up there on the range. She worked. And she said, let's go into the service. And so we did. We signed up in 1942. Our first assignment was with England needed troops. So we got on the Queen Elizabeth #1, that's big, fast ship. And we were loaded with soldiers. They slept on the floor with their packs, crowded. Our team was there to give them their shots. We worked 24 hours a day. We got there in 6 days. The medical team was stationed in an area outside of London, waiting for new orders. We got back to Camp Kilmer, we got new orders. They said, you're going to be assigned to a hospital ship. So we went to New York, to Camp Shanks. There's this big old ship changed into a hospital ship. It had everything the hospital had. 454 beds. We had a chaplain. We had radiology, we had surgeons, medical chiefs, psychiatrists, barbers, dentists. We had the whole thing, just like better than a hospital, I think, but not fancy. We had double decks. And I had a 60-bed ward, medical ward, and I had a wonderful troop of soldiers that were perfect attendants, corpsmen. They were trained. They knew how to communicate with these boys. They were amputees, burns, stomach problem, diabetics. A lot of stomach problems. The food, I suppose, didn't agree with them. And mental, we had mental. And we acted as social workers, all of us, because we listened to the stories. Some had not very nice stories to say. They would get these Dear John letters saying if they're married or engaged or something, it was being terminated. Now these boys stayed for a year, 2 years at a time. They didn't come back. They fought in these dugouts. What? They'd get meals, hungry, cold, sick. No baths, no showers. This is what they told us. It took us 2 weeks for each trip, up and back. I crossed the Atlantic Ocean 24 times in that same ship.
That's the Thistle.
I don't know how they got the name Thistle. Somebody in the War Department at that time decided to name it Thistle. This is Army. The Navy had a ship. It's called Comfort. That sounds more appropriate, doesn't it?
Rose was discharged from the service in March of 1946. She returned to Buell and started work as a school nurse. A year later, she married Ed Bayuk. She knew Ed from before the war. He was the city clerk in Eveleth. They were married in Wayzata, where Ed had accepted the position of city manager. His government career eventually led them to their home in White Lake, but rather unexpectedly.
He was going to Duluth for an appointment. He stopped in White Bear to get a haircut. Benny the barber, I don't know if you knew who he was, he stopped there. He knew everything. He said, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, my name is Ed Bayuk, and I'm on my way to Duluth for an appointment." He said, "What do you do?" He said, "Well, I'm a city manager." "Wow, they need a new city manager in White Bear Lake. Why don't you apply?" So he did. And the first question they asked him, "Do you know anybody in White Bear Lake?" He said, "No, I don't." "Do you have any relatives here?" "No, I don't." "Let's hire him. He doesn't know anybody in this town." That, of course, he had the qualifications, but so here I am. 1955, we moved out here. And being the city manager's wife, you get involved. I did a lot of volunteer work as a nurse. I did a lot of volunteer work for various other organizations. But I worked all the time. I worked in a doctor's office here for 15 years as an office nurse.
Rose went on to become the director administrator for the North St. Paul Nursing Home, retiring after 15 years. But she has yet to retire from all of her social engagements, activities she continued to be involved in since Ed passed away in 1999.
When he died, I continued with my clubs. I belonged to a book club.
And then you have your S&B group.
Then I have my Stitch and Bitch group. Some from the Women's Club started this Stitch and Bitch group, White Bear people. 3 or 4 of us old-timers come. The other girl is 100 years old. I had about 6 bridge clubs. Look at those clubs. I wish I'd gone back. Well, we'll see what happens here.
What did you want to end up in?
I'm not telling you.
Why do you like cards playing so much?
It's good for your mind. Bridge is, I don't know about any other thing. We play bridge. I'm working on a birthday party for a relative of mine who never married, and she's going to be 90 years old. And we're going to
be what?
90.
Oh, and you're going to do the birthday party.
I'm an organizer. I have it all down fast. That's my profession. That nursing is that way. You have to be on top of it, everything, right away. I'm one that don't like to remember old things. I like to know new things, progress. I just think of tomorrow, what's new, what can I do? I don't think of the past. It's gone. I don't need that. I need something different at my age. I'm still that way.
I can attest to Rose being a great communicator. She instantly turned the interview on me and began asking all the questions. Her love of sharing with and caring about others is definitely one key to her success. That and her love of bridge and her homemade Cornish pasty meat pies. We were delighted to be able to visit with her, and we're happy you could join us for this month's show. We'll be back in April for more great local stories, so see you then. And as always, I do thank you for watching Local Image.